Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Megan, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler V series V's I would do for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks. Come on now. I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is not the case today, though. Not with this particular item, anyway. This is like review number 8 that I've done. I burned through a whole bunch of space, so now I'm rebuilding my stockpile. But no, I actually bought this a few days ago. I was out and about in a town that I'm not usually in. I was out there for a show. And, I decided to go over there and stop by one of the local gas station chains. Because I always, I find a lot of stuff to review at gas stations. And I usually like to try oddball ones that I don't have near me. And for the most part, it was the basic shit, the stuff you expected. But they did have a few things where I was like, I can review that. So what's the first thing that I can review, at least in theory? It's boom! It's fucking little pork fried skins. Yes, they're little sort of pork rindy things. These are from Carolina Country Snacks. And they actually had big bags of these too, and I was going to grab one of those and review it. But then I saw they had this little thing over here, and I was like, well, that's more of a reviewable size. So apparently they cost me $1.49, which I can dig. These are mildly seasoned with red pepper. That sounds like a good time to me. Let's get a thing for the thing here. If we can make it happen. Let's make it happen, Captain. Come on now. Yeah, they will do that. Let's give it a go. Oh, it's got a little thing on the back. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, Alright. Wasn't expecting a Bible quote on the back of pork rinds, but sure, I guess. You do you, God, folks. You do you. I ain't hating. I just ain't relating. Smells kind of like a bag of pork rinds, as one would imagine. But they're little... Oh, what the hell? Really? Okay. So you're telling me there's a softer one in there. Okay. That one's a little bit better. But still. Now here's the thing. I have had pork rinds. Ooh. Flavor's nice, I'll say that. I've had pork rinds like this. Or, fried pork skins. Like, I've had Mexican style ones, like chicharrones. Like, especially the ones where they make them fresh. Those things have a tough exterior. No two ways about it. But, typically, once you get kind of past the exterior a little bit, it's usually a little bit softer on the inside. So, you can kind of work with it a little bit. With these, they're so thin that, they're just hard. And, that first one, I genuinely I didn't think it was going to be edible. I had to kind of let my saliva soften it a little bit to eat it. Yeah, I don't know about these. I'm not opposed to the idea. I like the flavor, but the texture on them and just how hard they are is really not very appealing to me. And then the other thing is that because they're so thin, there's a nice flavor And it's kind of a fried flavor and then sort of backed a little bit with that sort of pepperiness. But because there's so little surface area to go off of, I'm not really getting any, like a proper like pork rind flavor. I'm getting more just sort of a fried kind of flavor. I'm spending so much time trying to eat it instead of just enjoying it. Yeah. It's a shame because, again, when I do get the flavor, it's nice. It's salty, a little bit peppery. And kind of, even the fried flavor of it is actually nice. It doesn't taste like fry oil, it's got a nice flavor. Yeah. This is one of those weird things where it's like, flavor-wise, I'm down with it. But from a textural and execution standpoint, I don't know that I'm super into these. Like, I think if you took what makes these and just made a pork rind out of it, even if it was, again, a little bit of a more crispy pork rind, I'd be more down for it. But just in this capacity, and I'm slightly terrified that I'm going to crack a tooth. I think, I could be wrong because I've never had them, but I believe over in Europe, or at least Britain, they have sort of their own version of pork rinds. I believe they're called like pork cracklins or something like that. And those, from what I've come to understand, tend to be like extra crispy, extra hard by comparison to the more light and fluffy ones that we tend to have here in the United States. I'm guessing these are more along those lines in terms of texture. Okay. 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? No, kind of. Because here's the thing. Again, from a flavor standpoint, I like them. I actually think they're really nice. Like, if the texture wasn't so abrasive to me, I would be 100% down with these. Because flavor-wise, I think they're really cool. I've never quite had that combination of flavors done that way on a pork rind before. Or what's effectively a pork rind. But that texture, it takes me out of it really badly. It's just, and again, it's just, like I'm not enjoying what I'm eating, like I'm enjoying the flavor, but like the experience of it is actively somewhat unpleasant, It's worrying to me, to my teeth, and it's just, I'm just left wondering to myself, and to be fair, I'll get to it more when I'm talking about if I'd recommend it. I'm sure that these are for some people. But for me personally, it's like, I want to be into them because I do like the flavor, but like just the texture and the way they're presented, I'm not into them, So I definitely wouldn't get them again. If they were like presented as a pork rind, a more traditional one or something, I'd probably be down with it. Even again, like a more crispy one. But if I'm recommending them though, kinda. Because here's the thing, I am certain that these are for some people. I don't know who those people are, but I'm sure that there are people who probably really like this format, and I'm not going to say that I don't understand why. Like, again, like I've had like the harder chicharrones. I think that's a better format personally than these, but like, I have had those ones that are stiffer. These, I don't know, I just feel like they're too hard, and I feel like, again, just the kind of stringy format doesn't lend itself to the best experience for me personally. But I could see other people liking these, because, again, I think they're flavored really nicely, and, if you're willing to deal with the, the bite force you have to put into these damn things, sure, I'm sure they're probably really nice for you. Or maybe if you went over there and put them in some water and went over there and let them soften up a little bit or something. Maybe you're supposed to suck on them. I don't know. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there yourselves a truly proper pork rind-tastic rest of your life. Because pork rinds are good. And these are good too. But, I'm more of a traditional pork rind guy. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal preference when it comes to pork rind style? You know, like I said, you have like the harder ones, the chicharrones ones. Pretty much universally, the world seems to have decided, well, I shouldn't say that, because obviously there are certain cultures and, what have you, but at least on a wide scale, people have decided that pig skin is delicious when you fry it. And, I think for me personally, I like the ones that have some oomph to it, but like too oomphy, can be a little bit much. But every now and again, like I said, you go in for the proper chicharrones ones where it's like, yeah, but not all the time. These are not quite for me, but maybe they are for you. And if they are, let me know. I'd be really interested. But anyway,